力を一つに合わせて叫べ勝利の雄たけびを秘密戦隊ゴーレンジャー
Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Mighty Morphin Power Rangers!
Chapter 29, Turbo Flower Power. Author's notes. The plots used in this show are taken from Bioman with the episode of creating exploding flowers, from Goggle 5 with the melon bombs, Mask Man with the flower antidote against evil flowers, and a little butt of MMPR Season 2, GU2 footage. I'll probably be getting more Super Sentai and Power Rangers plots to combine for future episodes. In the last episode, the Turbo Rangers were trapped in a pocket dimension by the wicked Bloom Booma. It seems they have nowhere to go. You Turbo Rangers think you can stop our operations. Just you wait, you are all in so much trouble, said Bloom Booma. Wulwar soldiers began to appear in the pocket dimension. Red Turbo was hoping there would be some means to escape the dimension, like during the time he was caught by Rita into it. Just then, the ghost of the three generals appeared. Curse you, Turbo Ranger, said Rita. Now I am back to haunt you. Zima and Jarman also appeared, all swearing revenge. What the? All our enemies are returning, said Black Turbo. Yellow Turbo began firing his arrows, only to discover that they were all in spectral form. What the? They can be hit, but cannot be hit, said Yellow Turbo. We're in major trouble, said Black Turbo, but stay calm, we can get ourselves out of this. At the Violent Demon Palace, Ragorn was pleased with the results. Emperor Ragorn, we have trapped the Turbo Rangers in their worst fears. Apparently the alliance was a success, said Yamaru. Indeed it is, Yamaru. The rest will be up to you, said Kiros. What about the melon bombs? Asked Kirkia. It won't be a matter of time before they grow, said Chizunka. Very well done, Yamaru. Did you hear that, Zoltan? You're nothing more than another slob, said Ragorn. Zoltan was trying to sneak away with his own stupid plan. On the other hand, Leo Corbett had shown up to give the Zeo Ranger 5's team a tracking device. Then out of nowhere, two more Kuros were revealed to be Ranu and Billy. We're leaving the test of this new device in your hands, said Billy. Oh yeah, I couldn't have done it without Ranu. Billy, you're as usual the most modest genius yet, said Ranu. Okay, we'll do more scouting. I do hope Takeru and Mako will be able to drive out the United Alliance of Evil officers sent here for now, said Leo Corbett. Thanks, guys, said Zeo Ranger 5. Now to rescue the Turbo Rangers. On the other hand, Shinken Red and Shinken Pink can be seen fighting Kiros and Shizuka. After a rather heavy fight, both Shizuka and Kiros were forced to retreat. We'll see each other again, Shinken Red, said Kiros, leaving. Both Kiros and Shizuka were angry, knowing that the USSPRA was starting to know the divide and conquer tactics. Shinken Red and Shinken Pink powered down. Leo Corbett, Billy, and Ranu showed up. Guys, how's it going? Asked Takeru Shiba. Well, I do hope the gadget's ready for testing. As for everything else, let's leave this era to the heroes now. Let's call for reinforcements from the future whenever necessary, said Leo Corbett. Couldn't agree with you more than that, said Mako. I'd be ready to be back if my portal detector doesn't work, said Billy. On the other hand, the teleporters are working pretty well. We need to keep it stable, though, before we end up lost in time, said Ranu. A giant portal similar to that of Decade started taking the scouts back to the Sentai year in 2011. Back at the hidden portal, the Turbo Rangers were still struggling to survive, but against the specters they had no power. This is madness, said Red Turbo, who was beaten by Zimba's apparition. Jarman's apparition began whipping it good, hurting the others. Well, Black Turbo, I guess I've taken my revenge, said Jarman. Rita played his flute, causing the Turbo Rangers to be deafened by the sounds. He played it at an ultra-high frequency, deafening them without end. Ah! Screamed the Turbo Rangers as they were tortured to death, hoping that the melon bombs would soon acquire too much depression that they'll be immune enough for blowing up. Zeo Ranger 5 was doing some scouting to find the location of the portal. Just as they had found it, they were attacked by more of the deadly lines. Not the vines again, said Pink Ranger 1. They are powered by depression. I wonder if we can find some way to get rid of them, said Tsubasa. Unknown to them, Zoltan had snuck out in an effort to defeat the Turbo Rangers. He was determined to show his worth when he didn't even have it. He finally made an appearance. I'll show Yamaru and Kirkia who's better, said Zoltan. What the? Another monster? Give me a break, said Zeo Ranger 5. Oh, you're in for it, said Zoltan, who began to ram them, hoping he would get some credit. He began firing his slingshot, but frequently missed. I think I know what to do, said Zeo Ranger 5, referring to Zoltan. A very act that should get him in trouble. Zoltan fired his shots aimlessly at Zero Ninja Five's team, who took advantage of his carelessness. Just then he fired to where Bloom Booma was really hiding, disrupting her whole plot to destroy the Turbo Rangers in the Pocket Dimension, freeing the Turbo Rangers. Listen, we can't kill Bloom Booma because the Turbo Rangers are still inside him. But they need a power source that great to open the portal, said Zero Ranger 5. I think I know what I can do, said Blue Turbo Ranger as he powered down to Justin. What? Justin, it's too dangerous, said Zero Ranger 5. According to my calculations, my morpher can be used to disrupt the Bloom Booma's mind, said Justin, who did some configurations to communicate with the Turbo Rangers. I have no choice. I saw this in my dream, said Justin, who was again seeing visions of Ko. Inside Bloom Booma's dimension, the Turbo Rangers realized they were being attacked psychologically. Just then, Justin was able to communicate with them. Justin, said Blue Turbo. Oh, ha ha ha. Listen, you're all under psychological influence. The foes you see are damaging your mind. You must concentrate hard, said Justin. So this is mostly psychological warfare, said Pink Turbo. We're attacked by our own minds. That is, so the monster can continue to gather gloom it needs to create the bloom of doom it plans, said Black Turbo. Oh, ha ha ha. They were fighting against their imaginations being materialized as Bloom Booma was hit by Zoltan's careless aiming. Whoa, this is a psychological battle. We're not fighting against real people here, said Red Turbo. No fucking shit. Everybody concentrate. We can do this. In a mind over matter, Justin threw his morpher, which he configured had released a blinding blue light as it was swallowed by Bloom Booma. A big blue light flashed, greatly weakening the monster. Finally, the Turbo Rangers were released from Bloom Booma. She was outraged that her plan to destroy the Turbo Rangers didn't work. This is unfair. How could I be beaten so soon, said Bloom Booma. Justin, I can't believe you sacrificed your power, said Zero Ranger 5. This battle is theirs, said Justin. Whoa, we're out, said Red Turbo. Thanks, Justin. This is outrageous, said Bloom Booma. Now to attack you all. Yamaru and Kirkia arrived. They were angry as Zoltan's interference had led their close victory to catastrophe. You fat blob! I thought I told you not to intervene. Now you've done it, said Kirkia, kicking Zoltan. We still have other things to do, said Yamaru, who teleported out with Kirkia, Zoltan, and Bloom Booma, whose pocket dimension was permanently disabled. Back to the heroes. They are at the Search Guard time train with Dr. Daiza, who was amazed to see the new equipment. So you really do come from the future, said Dr. Daiza. See, I told you, said Tommy. Now we've got to find a way to counter those melon bombs and remove the depression vines. I think I know the antidote, said Tsubasa. Justin, I think you can go back to the future. Right now you don't have your powers, but you did what you had to do. Find some of the hope flowers. The monster is actually made from doom flowers. I get you, said Justin. Oh, I'll find my replacement now. And you'll get new powers soon, said Tommy. I'll send a message to headquarters that we're sending you back. Justin returned to the Sentai year 2011 to get some hope flowers. Unfortunately, there's only one plot left. Chiharu was still angry at the whole incident. Director Aya had news of what happened. Justin, you lost your powers. Do you need the hope flowers, as you said? There's only one pot left. It happens to be Chiharu's only surviving flower. Sadly, it was my favorite flower too, said Director Aya. I did it so the monster can't use her deadly portal anymore, said Justin. That was very brave, but I hate to think if we lost you in battle considering your age, said Director Aya. But first we must go to the greenhouse. Chiharu was at her greenhouse, still busy fixing the mess and planting new flowers. But the hope flowers were one thing she could not easily let go of. Such beautiful flowers, said Chiharu. Fortunately, they survived the ordeal. Director Aya came in with Justin. Chiharu, said Director Aya, I know this flower means a lot, but we need it to defeat the doom flowers that were used to create a monster in the past. Chiharu felt sad about it. After a few moments of thinking, she decided she would sacrifice her joy for the lives of others. Here, take the flowers. Take them and defeat the doom flowers that threaten to turn vegetation into deadly weapons, said Chiharu. Thanks, said Director Aya. Is there a shadow of a doubt that she could be my daughter? Asked Director Aya, noticing there had been much similarity between them. Sota finally reported. Sota, I request you take over Justin's post. He lost his powers in battle, said Director Aya. Yes, Director, said Sota, who carried the pot. I could go over some pot right about now. Back at the Search Guard time train, they were surprised to see Sota back. The Turbo Rangers were kind of shocked of a stranger that had facial similarities to Yoei. Whoa, he kind of looks like me, said Yoei. But he's not you at all, said Riki Hono. Here's the hope flowers. Justin will be resting for now. We'll find out what we can do to regain his powers, said Sota. That's what we need. Turbo Rangers, the fate of this flower is in your hands now. Use it wisely. It is the last one, said Tsubasa. We need a large amount to get rid of the killer vines, said Dr. Daiza. But where do we get it? In time, the flower can multiply itself, said Tsubasa. It sounds ridiculous, but trust me. We'll have to find the melon bomb, said Tommy. Riki, let's split up. Let's divide and conquer. Both Riki, Hono, and Tommy made an agreement to split up and find what's going on. The flower's in our hands, said Riki Hono. Use it well then, said Tommy. Tommy and his team discovered that there had been some vines connecting from one place to another. Worse, the people were trapped in those vines. What if I hammer out the soil, said Masumi. I guess that should loosen them out. We can't forcibly pull the bombs. People are in here. If we do, they'll die out, said Tommy. I guess we don't have a choice. This is a really desperate situation then, said Masumi. Guys, it's Henshin time. No, I don't want to hear that from any of the Rangers. Ugh. Tommy transformed into Zeo Ranger 5. Kimberly transformed into Pink Ranger 1. Sota into Boken Blue. Tsubasa into Maji Yellow. And Masumi into Boken Black. Kiros and Shizuka showed up. We're not done yet, said Kiros. We may have been defeated by your friends, but you cannot stop the melon bombs from erupting. They are now everywhere. As you know, the monster will soon assist Yamaru and Kirkia to do the job. Adios, said Shizuka. Kiros and Shizuka laughed, leaving them in depression. Meanwhile, the Turbo Rangers were now looking for Bloom Booma. They suddenly ran into her. Bloom Booma, it's time we end this, said Riki Hono, carrying a plot of the Hope Flowers. What? Oh no, said Bloom Booma. It's the Flower of Hope. Oh, I hate to think about it. Bloom Booma tried to blast the Hope Flowers, but to no avail. Some of the energy from the flowers began to weaken her. Hey, it's working, said Haruna. Just as Tsubasa said it would, said Shinsuke. Suddenly, the flowers of hope began blooming and multiplying like never before. A shower of hope pollens began to weaken the monster. Back to Zero Ranger 5 and his team. They realized a pot of hope flowers fell into their hands. The bloom was so great. Wait, we can use these, said Zero Ranger 5. Let's teleport out. Looks like we got more than enough, said Maji Yellow. Zero Ranger 5 and his team arrived in Dr. Daisa's laboratory, who was amazed at the amount of hope flowers that were blooming. This is just what we need to spray around. If only I could find some flying machine that doesn't belong to the Turbo Rangers to spread this around, said Dr. Daisa. I can do it, said Boken Blue, who called for the Go-Go Gyro. We can stay here. I believe the Turbo Rangers can do the job, said Boken Black. Here's what we'll do. We'll show up if the Turbo Rangers ever need help. We can't always afford to intervene in battle, said Zero Ranger 5 as he demorphed back to Tommy.